Hi, it's Jennifer. Today I'm going to show some tips that I use when I am doing an at-home highlighting kit. So I just buy a regular drugstore highlighting kit, and I've used this kind for quite a few years. Whoops, I just dropped one thing. There we go, sorry. And I've used them for quite a few years, and I really love this kind of kit. I find it very useful. I'm a thrifty girl, so I don't like to go to the salon. I've had lots of salon mishaps, so I just like to do things on my own. So my very first tip that I like to do ahead of time is with the highlighting cap, pre-poke the holes in the cap. And I find it a lot easier if you turn your cap inside out and then poke the holes. Another little tip that I like to do, I find, is because I have dark hair and I like to do blonde highlights. So I like to do just the circle ones on the bottom of the head, and then from the top to the bangs, then I do every single hole. So there's lots and lots of holes here. So yeah, so that's my first little tip. Turn the cap inside out, poke the holes. I find with the just doing the circles on the bottom, it kind of gives a low light effect rather than, ooh, you highlighted your hair you have dark hair and you highlighted it blonde. So it kind of looks more like low light. I find anyways. So second thing I recommend doing is brushing your hair. Or actually, sorry, I do think that it's better to highlight when your hair is not dirty, maybe like a day. So, you know, if you shampooed yesterday, then you can do it today, as long as you don't have a lot of product. If you have product on your hair, it gives a film, puts a film on your hair. So when you highlight, sometimes the dye doesn't actually, or even when you color your hair, the dye doesn't actually grab that hair, and you want the best effect that you can have. So definitely a day with very little product in your hair. So first thing is to lightly brush your hair, and I like to brush it, make sure the part just like you normally would. So just lightly brush, make sure there's no tangles in the hair. Keep your parts in like your style the way you normally would. And now it's time for the sexy highlighting cap to go on. Okay, so the cap on. So I'll just show a few little tips on how to poke through the hair. So I like to go a little lower. I don't want it to be super tight just because I don't want to feel like I'm being strangled. Tie a bow in it. Whoops. And there. It's tight enough where it's not going to pop up. So these highlighting kits come with a nifty little hook. So what I like to do is, with the hook part away from my head, so I'll start at the bottom, and then you just pull out. The hook part is always away from the head. So with pre-poking, what I normally do is I will actually just watch TV and just kind of move the hook around. I'll occasionally have a mirror, just double check if I didn't miss any spots. So there we go. So we've done a little bit of a section. So after you've done a little bit of a section, then I take a comb and just brush through, because sometimes, as you can see, some of the hairs aren't they're not completely coming out of the streaking cap. Woo. There we go. It's a nice comb. Make sure all those hairs are coming out. So this is my first few tips. So I guess that was a couple, and I will be back with a few more. And back. So I have poked all of the hair through. So even though I've used only the circular holes, it actually looks like quite a lot of hair has come through, which I really like. So again, just to make sure to comb through and make sure that there's nothing, no hair that's bunched in. And then what we're going to do is the hair under the cap, we're going to just tuck that under. Gently tuck it under, because you don't want to lose any hair that you've already pulled out. So I'm just going to do that. And it might be like my hair and it's just falling out of the cap. Anyways, but pull all that out. Okay. I got my gloves on. So now we're going to mix. So it comes with this powder. So you want to take it all up, break the powder up. You want to be in a well-ventilated area, because you can get pretty dizzy if you're in a small area. So open up some windows. Okay, so we're going to cut this open. The kit comes with this plastic holder. So put all the powder in. And then the cream developer. So what I like to do is just add a little bit at a time of the cream developer into the powder. With the spatula. I just find this makes a more smoother consistency. Oh, watch for powder overflow. Make sure to scrape all the sides down. Get all the corners. I think we'll put in the rest of the developer. Oh, maybe not. Almost all of it. Okay, and now the rest. Excuse me. Ooh, there was lots in there. I almost lost my spatula. Mix and mix and mix until it's a nice creamy consistency. So it's very mixed in well together. And there's no little powder bubbles or anything like that. Okay, so it should look something like this. Okay, so what I do is I put the spatula to the side and I actually just use my hands. So I grab a bunch. And I just put it on the cap itself. And then I'll brush the hairs in the opposite direction, pulling all of the dye towards the ends of the hair. So I just do a thin layer everywhere to start. And then do it up. Little more on the bottom just to make sure to get rid of any that gets in your original hair. Whoops. Okay, push that all up. And I'm sure you can tell I'm piling it kind of on the top of my head as well. So I'll just do the back. And then I'll do this side. Definitely wear an old t-shirt so that if you get dye, you're not going to stain anything that you really like. Okay, so once all the hair is kind of piled on top of my head, but this part's not. Then I'm going to go over one more time and put a layer of the dye everywhere. On the back. Make sure to get some. That I dropped some. Whoops. But I didn't. There we go. So just make sure that the dye is evenly distributed to all of the hair. Okay. And then we're going to take the, where it is. Oh, what I forgot. This plastic cover that it comes with. Hold it out and put it on the head. There we go. And push that all down. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as the cover is covering most of the hair. So I like to leave it on for about 30 to 40 minutes, just depending on how light you want the highlights. Excuse me, sorry again. And then every 10 minutes I check just to make sure that the color is good. Also, I like to leave it on longer because my hair tends to turn brassy and orangey, so that'll keep the brassiness away and it'll be a nice kind of a platinum color. So I hope you enjoy this, and I will be back after I have rinsed out my hair. And I think that's everything. See you in a bit. Hi. So I have shampooed, conditioned, and combed my hair through. So I guess my last little tip is definitely leave your conditioner in for a few minutes at least, just because your hair is going to be kind of straw-like because of you basically bleached your hair. And I think that is all of my tips. So just a quick review, pre-poke the holes, have little to no product in your hair, add the cream developer little bits at a time for creamier consistency, and leave the conditioner in for 2 or more minutes. And at least I usually do about 3-4 times after I've dyed my hair, just so that it's nice and soft and not straw-like. So I hope you find these tips useful, and please leave any comments. Thank you.